Hey guys, Mr. Riz here. So I'm going to help you guys out with the Chapter 1 review. I'm just going to go ahead, jump right into it, and start going over every problem. In case you guys have any trouble, you remember you can pause this video and go back on YouTube and just go through this. All right, so in this first problem here, we're going to identify some key pieces of information and make sure we can answer those. So I'm going to zoom this out just a little bit so I can get the graph and all the questions on here. And then I'm going to try to annotate as best as I can. Okay, so the domain is how far left, how far right does it go? So the graph goes, okay, just double checking the scale, starts here at -5 on the left side and goes all the way to the right to 4. So this graph goes from -5 to 4. That's how it covers. The range is how low to how high. The lowest this goes down is -4. The highest this graph gets up to is just about 2. It's 2, so there we go. All right, now name the X-intercepts, and we're going to name them from left to right. So the first one here is at -5, 0. Then we're at -2, 0. We're just looking to where it crosses the x-axis. And then at 2, 0 over here. The y-intercept is the up and down line, and where does it cross it? Right at 0, -4. All right, next, what is the average rate of change from 0 to 2? So 0, it's down here, and then 2 is over here. We're just finding the slope of the line that connects those 2 points. That line goes up 4 over 2, and we can just simplify that to 2. So the average rate of change from 0, which is down here at -4, to 2, which is at 0, goes up 4 over 2. So that reduces to 2. All righty, let's clear this off, and let's go to the next problem. Okay, same type of problem here, but it's a slightly different graph, and we'll answer those questions. So another practice, if you guys ever want to just pause this video and try it on your own, or if you've taken this quiz already, go back to see what your answers were, and let's try to do better this time. All right, so domain, how far left, how far right do we go? So left, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so it's -6. Then how far right do we go? 1, 2. So -6 to 2, left to right. Then we got low to high here. So how low does this graph go? The lowest it goes down to is -3. The highest it goes up to is 1. All right, x-intercepts, where does it cross the x-axis? Right there, which is at -4, 0. Just doing our best to see the graph here. And then right here, which is also at 0, 0. Where does it cross the up and down line, the y-axis? Well, it crosses right here, which is also an x-intercept, and that's 0, 0. Then, next question, what's the average rate of change from 0 to 2? Well, from 0, it's at 0, and 2, it's down at -3, so this is going down 3 over 2. So you could probably type in -3 over 2 as a fraction. If you want to put -1.5 as a decimal, I believe I've accepted both of those answers, or coded this to accept both of those answers. All right, clear all my drawings. Let's go back to this one here. Ooh, I need to edit this graph. So let me pause the video and I will edit this right now because there are way too many blanks. And that's a common mistake that keeps popping up on my quizzes. All right, got that fixed. So this should be able to help you out. All right, next part. On what interval is the graph of y equals negative absolute value of x minus 2 increasing? Well, if you weren't sure what this graph was, we could just put it into Desmos. Now, looking at parent functions, which is coming up next, we know that this is an absolute value function. So a couple things about this. If we were trying to get this without looking at a graph, an absolute value function is a V shape. But what we're going to do here is 2 things. First thing we look, we got a -2, so that means we're going to shift that over 2 spots to the right. And then the negative flips it over the x-axis. So the graph should look something like this. Now I'm just going to go ahead, also put out Desmos here. So I'm going to split screen, double check that you guys can see both of those. And I'm just going to open up Desmos over here and type that in. We got y equals negative, and then I have to go down here, keypad, x minus 2 inside the absolute value. Okay, there we go. just what we said, right? All right, now where is it increasing? So where's the graph going up? It is going up from negative infinity until we get to 2, then it switches to going down. So from negative infinity to 2, it is increasing. All right, next problem here, very similar. Just, okay, they give us an equation, and it's not just a single equation, there's multiple x's, so we do have to type this one out. X squared minus 6x plus 9. All right, so we have a parabola here, just shifted to the right. And where is it decreasing? Well, the graph starts going down. So from negative infinity all the way to this point here at 3. So negative infinity to 3, this graph is going down. So the best way to answer those questions, just clear them out on Desmos and do the best there. All right, now next ones here, we can put these in Desmos, and I'm not stopping you guys from do that, although that might take longer than what you have time. So let's look at these problems here. If we got x squared minus 5 minus 4, we should know a couple things, and these are in our 1-2 notes. There's the list there of every parent function and what it does and its types of transformations. So if we look here, we have the x is being squared, so that is a quadratic function. And a couple things. If we have a minus on the outside of this squared term, so minus outside of the parentheses, that moves it down. If it was plus on the outside, it would be shifting up. Now inside, if we subtract, that moves it horizontally. A minus on the inside makes it go to the right. Plus on the inside goes to the left. All right, so double check those notes there. All righty. Next problem here, okay. All right, we have a square root. What's going on with the x? It is being square rooted. We don't have anything going on the outside, so it's not shifted up or down, but we have a plus on the inside. Plus on the inside would shift it to the left. And then we have a negative. If the negative's inside the square root or inside the parenthesis, it flips it over the y-axis, left and right. If it's on the outside, it flips it up, down over the x-axis, so that's reflected over the x. Okay, next group, we're gonna have a couple questions over piecewise functions here. With these piecewise functions, you're just double checking, do you know where you plug the number in? So if I got -3, am I gonna plug it into the top, middle, or bottom? Well, -3 is less than -2. It is not bigger than 3. It's not in between -2 and 3. It is less than -2, so we're gonna plug it into there. -3 plus 3 is 0. All right, 6, which one does 6 go into? Nope, nope, okay, it'd go in here. 6 is bigger than 3, so we're gonna plug it in. 6 minus 4 is 2. All right, where does 3 go? Is 3, no, well, is it in between? Well, we have to look here. This is just a less than symbol. This one is a greater than or equal to, so we would plug it into the bottom. 3 minus 4 is -1. All right, -1, where does that go? Be careful here. -1 is in between -2 and +3, so we'll plug it into the middle one there. So the negative absolute value of -1 plus 5. So the absolute value of -1 is +1, but if we're going to make it negative, it will turn negative again. So -1 plus 5, that is 4. And then let's plug in 1. 1 also goes inside of the middle term. So the negative absolute value of 1 plus 5 ends up being the exact same thing as what we just did. It's going to be -1 plus 5, which is 4. So with these problems here, we're double checking where you can plug them into the right location. All right, next one, scarier function, but we can handle it. Okay, so let's make sure we know where to plug these numbers in. Anything less than -10, we're gonna plug into the top. Anything in between -10 and -2, not including them, but anything in between them, we'll plug in the middle. Anything bigger than -2, we plug in the bottom. All right, so -3 is in between -10 and 2, so we'll plug it in the middle. -3 plus 19. That's 16. All right, where's 0? 0 is actually bigger than -2, so we'll plug it in the bottom. 0 over 0 plus 9, that'd be 0 over 9, which is 0. All right, -5. -5 goes in the middle here. So plug -5 into the middle. -5 plus 19, that's 14. All right, -15 is less than -10, so we'll plug it into the top. So -15 squared minus 5 times -15. Let's see, that'd be a positive 225. And this would become plus 5 times 15 is 75. Add them together, we got the Spartans 300. All right, and the last one is 9. Okay, positive 9, that's bigger than -2, so we'll plug it into the bottom, which I'll plug it over here. So 9 over 9 plus 9, so that's 9 over 18, which is 1/2. So you can type in 1/2 or 0.5 if you'd like. You want to stick with decimals. Sounds like a big crash upstairs. All right, solving system of equations. Remember, if you have two variables, what you can do is plug them into Desmos to see where they cross, and that's a good way to double check. But let's use substitution here, or elimination. All right, so x's are on x's, y's are on y's, numbers on numbers. What we need to do is multiply to get a row the opposite set. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna multiply this bottom row by 4. Top row, I'm just gonna leave x plus 4y equals 15. The bottom row, I'm gonna change, multiplying by 4, it becomes 8x minus 4y equals, okay, if I multiply that by 4, that's -60. All right, adding them here, we get 9x. Those go away. And add those together, that'd be a -45. Divide, x would equal -5. Now to figure out what y would equal, we're gonna take one of these numbers and plug it in to solve for y. I'm plugging it into the top here. We get -5 plus 4y equals 15. Add the 5 over, 4y would equal 20. And divide, y would equal 5. So we got -5, 5. And let's just double check this on Desmos real quick. So we'll just type the equations as they are. X plus 4y equals 15. And we got 2x minus y equals -15. Where do they cross? At -5, 5. So Desmos is going to be a good backup to go through there. Oh, my honey extension open. All right, cool. That's weird. All right, one more problem here. We have a 3 variable set. Oh, there we go. Now it's gone back. All right, so let's go through and set this up. We got x's on x's, y's on y's, z's on z's. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and A, B, and C, pick 2 of them together and see if we can eliminate a group. Yeah, go ahead, bud. Turn Tayo on. Xbox, play. No, that didn't work. I'll try A. -x plus 2y minus 2z equals 8. Xbox, play. There we go. X plus y plus z equals 2. These are nice because x's are opposite. When we add them together, the x's go away. So I would get x's go away. We'd have 3y. And then here we got -2z plus a positive z makes a -1z or -z equals 10. Now I need to pick another combination and I need to get rid of the x's. So I'm going to pick A and C over here. -x plus 2y minus 2z equals 8. And 2x minus 2y plus 6z equals 12. I'm going to multiply this top row A here by 2 because we have to get rid of the x. If you get rid of the x on the first group, you have to get rid of the x on the second group. Whichever one you get rid of on the first group, you have to get rid of the same thing on the next group. So we would get -2x plus 4y minus 4z equals 16. And the bottom we didn't change here, 2x minus 2y plus 6z equals 12. So when we add these together, x's go away, y's, 4y plus -2y is just 2y. -4z plus 2z is just 2z. All right, I probably said 2z is 6z right here, but we get 2z. And then 16 plus 12 is 28. Okay, so once we do that, we're going to take our two answers here and stack those up. 3y minus z equals 10, and 2y plus 2z equals 28. So now we're going to do elimination with these two here to get rid of one of the variables. I'll multiply this first row by 2, because then the z's would be opposite. So 6y minus 2z equals 20, and 2y plus 2z equals 28. If I add these together, I would get 8y equals, add those together, 48. And we could divide here. Y would be 6. All right, so that was the key piece. And now we just got to keep working backwards a little bit to figure out x and z. So I'm going to take that, let's plug it into this one here and solve for z. So 2 times 6 plus 2z would equal 28. So we'd get 12 plus 2z equals 28. Subtract 2z would equal, is it 16? I'll move my head over here. So z would equal 8. All right, now we got to figure out x. And we can go ahead and plug that back into anything. I'll plug it back into this one here. X plus y is 6 plus z is 8 equals 2. Well, that means x plus 14 equals 2. X would equal negative 12. Okay, and we can always double check our answers by plugging those in and see if they make sense. If I plug negative 12, so that'd be a positive 12, plus 2 times 6, which is 12, minus 2 times 8, 16. Do we get 8 here? Does 24 minus 6 equal 8 or 16? Yes, it does. Check it here on the bottom. 2 times negative 12 is a negative 24. Minus 2 times 6, okay, so minus 12, plus 6 times 8, 48. Does that equal 12? That's negative 36 plus 48. That does equal 12. So it works for all three of them. Okay, guys, so remember when you're watching this, feel free to pause and go back and do these. If you guys have any questions, reach out and ask, but you guys will be taking your first part of the test online. Best of luck through this review. You guys will be fine. All right, see you next time.